gotta thank Red Clay Hot Sauce. Come on, let's go. We appreciate them sponsoring this event. And Drew, here we are. We're at Pictona. You take two great things and mix them together. It's like a Reese's peanut butter cup here. Pickleball, Daytona, Pictona. We got Leigh, Parenteau. Mix that together. We got a great match coming up here. 7 in a row, though, for Leigh Waters in this matchup.
Leigh serving. Off we go. And it'll be a side out for Catherine here to start.
Yeah, when they last played in the finals at Desert Ridge, it did go, it's a 2 out of 3, and it did go 3. So Catherine can look at that for some confidence.
And that is on the line. Nice shot from Catherine. Also, last week when Leigh was not participating up in Minnesota, Catherine was your champion.
And she came roaring back against Leigh Jansen, down 5-zip in game 3 of it. Best 2 out of 3 and won 11 points in a row.
Drops right in front of Parenteau. And what a rally here early on.
Yeah, we don't get too many of those festive hand battles in the singles game, and that was unlucky for Parenteau there because she was way ahead of the point until that trickled over. But look at how athletic that woman is to be able to get that back.
And that's long from Catherine. First point for Leigh.
Yeah, just didn't stick the volley there, just sort of guided it. When you guide something, it's usually not going to have a good outcome. You got to have confidence in the contact.
Winner from Parenteau.
Yeah, that's good patience because a tennis ball, you can just bounce that into the 30th row, but you got to wait, make your opponent commit there. That's smart. And that Selkirk paddle, I was talking to Catherine earlier here on site, got the defense dialed in, and it's got extra pop, and she is playing fantastic with that Selkirk.
Now Leigh there to put it away. So Catherine currently residing here in the Sunshine State down in Naples. Leigh, of course, in Delray Beach. So both Floridians here for the time being, at least.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a West Coast v. East Coast, but we can create one here, Drew. Let's go.
Sounds good. Game on.
You're a West Coaster here, so I know we don't cheer in the booth, but geography's geography.
And Catherine with another winner. And Dave, 2 big pickleball facilities, one in Ybor City just outside of downtown Tampa, and one in St. Petersburg just announced this week. It's awesome how the game is growing in my hometown, and I'm sure it is in yours as well.
Yeah, and everywhere you look, I can tell there's 27 courts going in Michigan and 30 going in Texas. It's awesome.
Oh. Great effort by Leigh to get there, but Catherine pumps her fists after another point.
And look at how she laid the paddle open to be able to touch this into that open spot. That's such a good shot from Parenteau. Oh, my.
Oh, Catherine. Wow.
And the only way Catherine's winning that point is if the ball touches the net, and you can see the disgust with which Leigh walked off the court after that. That's a quick timeout, and sometimes things are going your way. Now, earlier, the net court wasn't fair to Catherine, so she would be quick to point out it's 1-1 on that. But a great start for her.
So 4-1 in favor of Catherine Parenteau. Leigh Waters calls the timeout. We'll step aside as well. Little instruction for Mother Leigh. We're back to Daytona in a moment. So Leigh Waters getting a little bit of instruction from her mother, Dave. What's going on over there?
Well, a hot start from Catherine Parenteau, and we've talked about this a lot with players having physios, having coaches. Obviously, in Leih's case, she's got one of the best players in the world, unfortunately injured, but right there to give her pointers on what she's seeing. And no one knows her game better than her mother.
Side out now to Waters, trailing 4-1 here in game 1. Catherine right now is dictating.
I can't tell you how great a point that is from Parenteau, because Anna Leigh, when she usually does everything right on a point, she wins it. She dropped the ball. She threw a ball down at Catherine's feet. That ball, she thought she'd get past her, and then she's digging again. That's great pickleball from Parenteau.
Should also note the last women's player to beat Anna Leigh Waters at a PPA event, the great Paris Todd, who is back here in Daytona, but Dave, she's a spectator for singles.
Not playing today, so she will be ready to go in mixed doubles tomorrow. And
oh, just wide. Yeah. Anna Leigh thinks otherwise.
She could challenge this, chooses not to. Looked wide live, but didn't see a second view of it. That return is deep, and to finish the Paris Todd, I told her you couldn't get any good partners at all, could you? Just Riley Newman and Anna Bright. So we'll see where her game is at coming in here this weekend. She's excited.
Oh, Catherine Parenteau right now just crushing it on championship court.
And I think that's the difference in her game, in her adjustment to this paddle. The pace on that was ridiculous, and the shape. And Catherine is a confident player coming out of Minnesota here and is showing it.
Side out. And that's a good point, Dave, because Anna Leigh did not play in that event. Of course, take advantage of the rest, but nothing like having momentum either. Catherine is just absolutely placing everything perfectly right now.
I mean, if you're that far stretched off the court, you should be done. And it was actually Anna Leigh who's done, who covered the court the way you should and gets beat with an angle. My goodness.
Side out.
So side out to Anna Leigh Waters, trailing by 5 here in game 1.
1-6.
Catherine right now is just running everything down.
I mean, again, stretched to the absolute limit, and then look at this, and then be able to get the next ball. Just outstanding.
Point.
And then you think, I don't know how to pass her. I have to do a little bit better and a little bit more, and that creates error. So it's a compounding problem for Anna Leigh Waters, and you don't see her in a hole like this too often. So can Catherine take advantage? Got to make that ball, though.
Side out back to Anna Leigh, trailing 7-1.
And you don't want to rush it. She likes to play fast when she's ahead, and you can see Anna Leigh now slowing things down just a little. You don't see that every day.
Side out.
The other interesting thing for Catherine in this is she got a walkover in the quarterfinal because, as I mentioned on another match, Lauren Stratman unable to go due to sickness. So a very fresh Catherine Parenteau coming into this match as well.
1-7.
Oh, off the net, and Anna Leigh can't do anything with it. Nothing going right for the #1 player.
She's like, seriously? And you know, this is why sports are the greatest reality TV show. You don't know what's going to happen.
Catherine just too good at the moment.
And another timeout here for Anna Leigh Waters, as Parenteau is absolutely playing as flawless a match of pickleball as you can. She might have even played an out ball in the middle of that last rally. And sometimes when you do that, your brain just leaves. You're like, oh man, I just played an out ball, and you make a mistake. She stayed true, pushed Anna Leigh all over the court there. And we have a situation here, Drew. We'll see if Catherine can finish off this semifinal right after this.
My name.
So right now, Coach Leigh Waters trying to keep her daughter Anna Leigh in this match. Catherine Parenteau is playing as good a pickleball as we have ever seen in women's singles.
And look at where we're at now. We're like the coaches calling in the play there, covering their mouths with the call sheet as Leigh is covering her mouth with the instruction there, because everybody's learning everything. They're watching video, any little thing they can pick up. Gets the side out quickly.
And that's going to be a point for Anna Leigh. Dave, one more time for folks just joining us, the history between these two players and Anna Leigh's edge over Catherine.
Yeah, she's 12-2 and has won 7 in a row and hasn't lost since 2021. And that's a talented player on the other side. But this paddle and this confidence and the way that Catherine is playing, a more aggressive style here against Anna Leigh, not sitting back. Won a game when we last saw them and had Anna Leigh in a little bit of trouble, and then here we are.
Oh, and that doesn't make it over. Big sigh of relief coming from Anna Leigh. Our officials, Tom Tadler, our lead official, Dale Van Scott, second referee, tracking is Larry Harvard, and on video with us in the truck, Mr. Tom Richardson.
Point.
And now let's see if Anna Leigh can get it going here, Dave.
3-8.
There's the Anna Leigh Waters we're used to seeing.
Yeah, and so what do you have to do when your opponent is playing at the peak of their game? You got to raise your level too, and as beautiful a two-handed backhand as you will ever see right there. And I like that Catherine called timeout. She had an 8-1 lead. It's now 8-4. Shut it down. Find your best return coming up here.
So long way to go for Anna Leigh Waters, starting to zero in on the target. Catherine Parenteau. We're back to Holly Hill in just a moment. Welcome back to Pictona at Holly Hill here in Daytona Beach. Drew Felios, Dave Fleming, Cameron Blackwood with us as well on the court. Anna Leigh Waters serving to Catherine Parenteau. And Catherine's going to get side out here coming out of the timeout.
Tremendous return. She'd gotten beat with the two-way down the line before that. Let's make her hit a forehand on the run. That's a great, great shot coming out of the timeout. And then gets a freebie.
Catherine's dictated thus far, Dave, and now it's 9-4.
9-4.
Anna Leigh, tremendous backhand.
Yeah, and you saw, you're guessing if you leave it in the midcourt there, and Catherine's first move was to her left, the ball coming to the right, couldn't adjust.
And Parenteau dialing one up to get side out once again.
Yeah, a little flamingo inside out there. You know, as a Fleming, I love a nice pink bird, and that's a great inside out shot. Again, that short angle that you can't track it down, and you use the spin to run it away from your opponent.
Dave, you've talked a lot about the paddle and the confidence that comes with a new paddle for a player.
Yeah, you got to get it dialed in, and the, you know, all the defense and the touch that Catherine has was the question. There's no doubt she's got more pop now, and she's got the whole thing working for her, and it looks really good.
How about that shot, though, by Anna Leigh? Another cross court that grazes the line.
Yeah, and you also have some volume coming from the youngster. So, you know, if she drops that one, then hits the forehand on the dead run here.
Point.
And that approach, you saw Anna Leigh go straight ahead at Parenteau. Why do you do that? Take angles away. And you don't want to give an angle because you'll get an angle in return.
Point.
And that called long by Anna Leigh, so
that
it's
self-curve
10-7.
paddle's about to hit the ground, or at least be put in the shape of a T, with the paddle being the top half of the T. And what was once 8-1 is now 9-7, Drew.
So Anna Leigh getting closer here on championship court. And we'll step aside here, take a break, come right back. Anna Leigh Waters serving against Catherine Parenteau, still in game one. We'll be right back.
Get access to top players.
Both players are out of time.
So here we go. Anna Leigh Waters serving, down by 2 here in game one. Catherine Parenteau on the other side. And Anna Leigh hits it long. Catherine will have serve.
Yeah, she read it just right, but punched it just a little too deep.
9-7.
Timeout is effective.
Anna Leigh's shots have been getting better and better, Davis. This game has gone along.
And the depth of the return helps her make those better, or the approach shot in that case, too short, gives Anna Leigh too many options.
No stopping Catherine. Side out once again.
Yeah, just a great patient overhead there. Nice firm pace. Don't give her a chance to get back into this. Scoreboard pressure when you get to 10 is significant. Got to get this one.
Oh, up against the net, and now it'll be game point for Parenteau.
Yeah, I know the conversation Anna Leigh's having there is I was ahead all the way in that, and then the tape pushed me off the kitchen line, and here we are at a game point.
You're watching pound for pound, probably the 2 best players in the women's game, Parenteau and Waters. And that is going to be wide, so Catherine Parenteau is going to be a game up on Anna Leigh Waters here in Daytona.
She withstood a furious rally, called timeout, and then got to the checkered flag here at Daytona. So this is something else for game one. She needs 2 checkered flags, though, in pickleball. We'll see if she can get it when we come back.
Welcome back to the Red Clay Hot Sauce Florida Open. Pictona, the site at Holly Hill, just outside Daytona Beach. Drew Felios, Dave Fleming, with Cameron Blackwood on the court. Catherine Parenteau victorious after game number 1, and Anna Leigh Waters going to have to rally here to stay alive.
And she has called in reinforcements, Drew, as Ben John's now sitting over there. Obviously, they are mixed doubles partners, so what is he seeing to help her give that little edge? The coaching is significant, and it's what you need, and I'm sure he didn't say miss your return, but you're trying to use every little edge you can get when the margins are getting slimmer and slimmer on the tour.
And Catherine comes out firing 2 straight points here to start.
Yeah, and you know, Catherine's like, I don't care who you talk to over there. I'm going to just keep funneling the ball forward. I'm coming forward, hitting great first volleys.
It just seems like Anna Leigh's been on the defensive most of the day, Dave.
And that's the absolute filth that Catherine has. And it was the 2 shots before that that you thought you're playing with a little more lively paddle than what she used before. Will she have that in her arsenal? The answer is yes, yes, and then filth. And she's up 3. And now 4. And timeout already, Drew. Like, this is something else here from Catherine Parenteau.
So Parenteau making a major statement. Again, she has conceded the past 6 times she has faced Anna Leigh Waters, trying to kind of shift where the championships go on the women's singles side. She wants to stand atop the podium when Anna Leigh is right next to her.
100%. She won last week, Annalee wasn't in the draw. You have to go back all the way to 2021 since Catherine won against Annalee. Annalee has not lost in a singles event she entered since last summer. So this is, when you think of, are we going to have chalk, make it and win it, Annalee has been the betting favorite, delivering the goods every time. She may still do that here, but this is as pushed as we have seen her be in a long, long time.
4-0. Catherine serving.
Time in, 4-0.
And Annalee with vintage Waters coming out of the timeout.
Yep, and that time, unfortunately for Catherine, she had to use the paddle as the other half of the clap for her opponent there. So good sportsmanship there.
And a miss hit by Parenteau.
And you can see these ladies are trying to approach, especially Waters, down the middle of the court. Don't get me stretched out by the ball I hit to create that.
And is that wide? Catherine thinks it's not. Annalee says it is.
Point.
So called wide and confirmed, and no challenge, which is an option.
And Annalee now has scored 3 in a row.
Timeout, receiver, 3-4.
And paddles will hit the floor. You can just sense how important this match is for both of these competitors. Catherine a little frustrated.
Yeah, I think that was a carryover from the ball before that, where she saw a ball that from her vantage point was good. And the other question is, Catherine, you don't hear. That's as loud as you will hear Catherine. So can she just get back to the focused Catherine we've seen throughout? Great rally here for Annalee. So we'll take a quick breather. This is everything you'd want and more in the semifinal. We'll be right back.
Key moment in this match. Leigh Waters trailing 3-4 to Catherine Parenteau, and now serving.
Team has 1 timeout
Yeah,
remaining.
rally she
Time
desperately
in,
needed,
3-4.
staring a game down and 4-zip down. Wow, and
Point.
Parenteau thought that ball was going to travel deep. It was a couple inches inside the baseline. She caught it and said, my bad. And that's as easy a point as you will ever win.
Into the net from Waters, side out back to Parenteau, tied at 4.
And I can't tell you how big a miss that is, just in the mindset and psyche of Parenteau. Plays a ball that she just caught.
Oh.
Side out.
If you don't hit the line, you can't win points right now, Drew. It's that good.
The shot making is ridiculous right now.
Side out.
And that started with a ball on the line on the sideline, and then Parenteau was patient there. She pulled Annalee wide, and you thought maybe she should come in behind it, but waited for one more chance, and this is as good as it gets.
Tied at 4.
Point.
Annalee up against the net and looks toward the sidelines where Ben Johns and her mother Leigh is.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see from Catherine. You want to see her looking for answers somewhere other than within herself. And that inside-out forehand has been pushing Annalee, and then she's just trying to find an angle, but that's tough to do consistently.
Side
Hit
out.
long by Parenteau. Waters will get a side out here, trailing by 1.
4-5.
Annalee, #1 player in the world, 16 years old.
Side out. 5-4. Side out.
So if Parenteau chases that ball from the get-go, she has a sitter, but her move forward was a half step late and couldn't take advantage of a great drop.
Anna Leigh up against the net.
And you see both players grimace on that because that is not the return that Catherine wanted, but she'll take it.
5-4.
Waters comes up and gets it.
Side out.
And again, if it's high, what these athletes are able to do with the ball that is up. So if that's a little bit lower, the detail on the next shot won't be as good, but that's still a ball a millimeter inside the line.
Now momentum starting to swing in the favor of Anna Leigh Waters after struggling in game one.
Side out.
And Waters keeps going down the middle, and she cannot believe these angles that Parenteau is finding from that placement.
Tied at 5. Oh, how about this point? Catherine Parenteau. Yes.
That might be the best women's singles point you will see all year because of the quality and the athleticism of every ball hit in that rally. Unbelievable.
These two ladies bringing out the best in one another. What a treat here on this Thursday afternoon.
Side out.
Side out back to Anna Leigh.
And Parenteau, you can see how badly she wants this because she had a two-handed backhand that she could have tugged back cross court and really been ahead in the rally, and finds the tape.
And that is just long. Catherine right there with her eyes on the line.
Yeah, she was beat going to her left, and that's one of those, just keep, come on, just a little air. She's
6-5.
willing it deep.
Point.
And another point here for Parenteau.
And for people that ask, well, how can I get more on your serve? Watch the way Catherine drives her midsection, really rotates those hips through her serve.
That'll be wide. Anna Leigh with the side out.
So this is where you got to get the nerves handled. You can kind of feel like I've got an opportunity here, and a missed serve is humongous for Catherine because the heart's going to be beaten. She's a talent. She won 2 gold medals. This is different right here.
Point.
It's one thing about Catherine Parenteau. The will to win from her is just off the charts. And right now she is in best position over Anna Leigh Waters that she has been in a long time. Another one hit out, and Catherine closer to the finish line.
Yeah, that serve jumped up into the body of Anna Leigh Waters, and she is really, really out of sorts over at her box here.
I didn't see it.
Trying to get some thoughts from Ben Johns there about where the ball's bouncing up. So we're going to bounce out of here real quick, but a significant upset is 2 points away.
No timeouts remaining. Still have 1 timeout remaining.
Catherine Parenteau 2 points away from taking down the #1 women's singles player, Anna Leigh Waters. Here we go. And Parenteau now with match point.
Yeah, and that just wicked inside-out forehand has been her shot to go to, and here we go.
Waters comes right back.
Side out. .510. Side out.
So second match point coming up for Catherine after Anna-Leigh hits it long. It's been a
10-5.
tough afternoon here for Leigh Waters. And Parenteau can't finish it just yet.
And she went with that same forehand that has been so deadly here, but Leigh Waters able to scrape it back down the line.
Point.
So Parenteau, 28 years old. Leigh Waters, 16 years old. When Anna-Leigh was starting to run roughshod, if you're Catherine, you got to be thinking, am I ever going to reestablish my dominance in women's singles? Good chance here, but Catherine hits it up against the net.
And now those two match points weigh heavily in your head. This is when the mental part of singles starts to overtake the physical part, and then a missed serve. When you felt like maybe this is where 4 or 5 in a row from the Anna-Leigh freight train come.
10-7.
Third chance.
Catherine hits it wide.
Yeah, the feet weren't good there, and wow.
7-10.
Dave, our hearts are pounding as well watching this. Anna-Leigh with the winner. She's within 2.
Receiver, 8-10.
Timeout, Catherine Parenteau.
So you heard the loud roar from Leigh Waters after she made that one, and Parenteau has got to, there you see her just trying to slow everything down on her bench. Just find one more shot. But she has to get the ball back, and she is not, I'm going to just put it out there in the world, she's not going to get another missed serve from Leigh Waters right here. That already happened, and now Anna-Leigh is the one walking around with confidence and ready to try and get what didn't look possible just a few short minutes ago, a game 3. Now, there's work to be done, but 3 match points against have been saved by Leigh Waters.
Both players are out of time.
Take a deep breath, everybody.
Time in, 8-10.
And Anna-Leigh hits it wide. Catherine Parenteau going to have another match point here, leading 10-8.
Yeah, and a very tight return she got away with there. Try number 4.
Side out.
And when you're aiming it and not swinging it, and it looks very different from what it looked like just 5 minutes ago, you don't get the results, and there's a, oh my.
Leigh Waters within 1. 9 serving, 10 here. Momentum building on the Waters side. Oh, that's wide. Catherine will have side out.
How good that backhand right there was under enormous pressure is unbelievable.
10-9.
Catherine for the match again. Oh, Catherine Parenteau. She has done it.
And that's just a look of relief there, Drew. She had 4 prior chances to finish this match off, but got a short return and finally swung through a forehand. She had a couple other looks at it, and this is a surprise to say the least. She's 2-12 now, 3-12 against Leigh Waters, and had lost 7 in a row. Didn't beat her last year, but comes in here, and that didn't go 3. Wins in straights, and you feel like her level of play carrying over from Minnesota to here. We saw her be able to back that up The challenge for her is, and I think it's fortunate for her, is the final is not today. I think that would be really hard for her to have to play again, because this felt like a win, and it was a win, but it wasn't a tournament win. So we will talk to a relieved and jubilant Catherine Parenteau when we come back.
Welcome back. I'm Cameron Blackwood here with Catherine Parenteau. An incredible win here. You just came off your gold medal in Minnesota. You were creating such pace and shape with that paddle right from the get-go. What was the discussion with your team?
I think I just had to stay aggressive and be confident. I think for sure getting gold 2 weeks ago kind of helped me today. And I was aggressive. Maybe not by the end. I was a little tight there. But yeah, I kept reminding myself, I got to stay aggressive. That's when I play better.
And we know you've added to your team, but are we at the point in professional pickleball where we're watching tapes before we come on of other opponents to make sure that we have a game plan heading in?
For sure. I would say that's a big part of my study, I guess. When I'm home, I spend a lot of time watching my opponents to come up with a good game plan.
And yesterday was International Women's Day. Do you want to say anything to those girls that are right now saying, I want to be just like Catherine when I grow up?
Just keep working hard. I love this sport. I mean, it's great for women. You see so many women playing the sport, and it's just amazing. Keep it going.
There you have it, Catherine Parenteau moving on to Championship Day Sunday. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.